There we go. Holy moly. It figures. Hopefully everything is working and going according to plan. If not, oh well. Well, good evening, track gang. It happens to be Sidetrack Sunday number 4 for October 2025, and it is October the 26th. Oh, man, it has been a very unique 48 hours. Oh, man. First and foremost, I would be remiss if I didn't go there, if I didn't say something. And that is the fact that there is a birthday, and it's not John number 2's. It happens to be Mr. Allen over at the Mason-Dixon Railroad. Happy birthday, Allen. So hopefully you had a good day. I know you hung out with us for a little bit down at the Streetcar Museum. Hopefully all the video that you took turned out. We look forward to seeing that. Oh, man. But yeah, what a day. What a day. Actually, like I said, 48 hours. It has been a blast. Sung happy birthday to Alan. I'm not on that screen. I'm back over here on YouTube. I was getting ready to take a look at the participants list, and now YouTube is going ballistic on me. So, all right, I'm not paying attention to chat at the moment, so you'll have to bear with me. So, in the chat right now, the participants list, we have got Mr. Almar. We have Ian from the Chattanooga Southern. It was great to catch up with you again, sir, and glad you got a chance to come over here and take a look at the BNN. We've got Mr. Truck Schreiber. We've got Darby Rail Services in the house. Darby. Do we have a name for Darby? I thought we did. Yes, we do. That's Robert over at the Darby Rail Services. We've got Dave over at DB Tech. We've got Jack. It was great to finally meet up with you, sir, and great to hang out. There's a new name in here. We got JDS 19K. Welcome aboard. We've got Mr. Ken Amos over at B&O 51. We've got Mr. Dwight Curley over at the Curley Express. We've got the birthday boy, Alan, over at the Mason-Dixon. We've got Bob over at PK&W Model Works. We've got me, although I am really not sure how much I'm actually here. We've got John number 2 over at the Schuylkill River Valley. We've got Mr. Ron over at the Southwest Railroad. Great to hang out with you again, sir. We have got Stormy Sky Rail Productions, and that's either Jenny, Steve, or Dave. And I'm going to bet that it's probably Steve. I'm just going to take a guess. And I understand that you all have been trying to reach out to me. Hopefully you got Mr. Dalton got the message back over to you. We've got Mr. Tom Garassi. It was great to hang out with you and your wife, Barb. Good to meet you all. Again, I'm glad you had a chance to hang out with us over the weekend. Hopefully you had a good time. We've got Mr. Todd Armstrong over at Trackside Action, and we've got the Willow Creek Industrial Spur. And I thought that, yep, that would be Brad over at the Willow Creek. So that's who I've got in the chat at the moment. If you didn't chat, if you didn't hear your name, it's because you haven't said something recently, and YouTube hasn't said it or hasn't put your name in there. So, Jason over at the Bangor Northern. Very good. Okay. Well, welcome in. Appreciate it. Hey, it's Rail Artist in the house, and that would be, because I don't want to mess this up, that would be Mike over at Rail Artist. Good to have you here. And there's Martin with Life with Roscoe. It was great to meet up with you and hang out last night. Always a great time. Let's see. I was just going back through the chat because of the fact that I'm just trying to catch back up. We've got Dwayne from Dwayne's Fork and Spoon in the house. Let's see. Did I miss anybody else? I hope not. And like I said, if I haven't said hi or haven't called you out, we'll get you. Don't worry about it. We'll be good. All righty. I'm sure I'm sure that everybody in here is wondering how the meet and greet and the layout tours went, and then the tour of the BSM, the Baltimore Streetcar Museum, went today. I'll tell you the truth. It was an absolute blast. At one point in time down here last night, there were 16 people, not including me. There is a bunch, and most of them I think are actually in the chat already, but just to go ahead and name off some of the folks that stopped by last night. You had Ian from the Chattanooga. You had Frank Neer, who's been here before. He's part of one of the railroad clubs. You had Ken and his cousin Lewis. I got it right that time. You had Martin from Life with Roscoe. You had Dave from DB Tech. You had Ron Monte from over at the Southwest Railroad. You had Tom Garassi and his wife Barbara. You had Alan from the Mason-Dixon over here. You had Jack and Grandpa Rails, who made the trip all the way up from Texas. And just giving you a heads up, hold on a second. I've got a chat that I have to read here. Hold on. Let's see. Just giving you a heads up. We have a special talking about our upcoming schedule and talking about next week. Oh, nice. Gotcha. Yeah, I don't think I'd be able to get up there for that, unfortunately. Let's see. I know. Anthony from the Georgia Sun Belt was here. Steve the plumber was here. Let's see. I know I am going to forget somebody, but I'm not. That would be Mr. Joe Rader over at the Block Rock Central. He was here. So yeah. We, like I said, it was a blast to be able to hang out and have a good time. The problem is, and I've had this issue in the past. Hey, Rusty down there at Possum Bayou, what's going on? We always have this problem for whatever reason, and we were talking about it today. We get so tied up discussing and conversating and everything else that nobody remembers to pull out a phone or a camera to take a picture of the group. It never fails. You know when we remember it? When we're all apart. It's like, dagnabbit, because John Arthur was actually at the train show. He was at the meet and greet, and so was Ron Piskel. It was good to see Ron again and his wife, and I'm terrible with names. Anyway, it was just an absolute blast to hang out with everybody. You could show I sent the two I sent to you. Yeah, that was just a very small group of who all was left here at 8 o'clock last night. Rodney was here. Hot Rod Rodney was here. Ron's wife is Beverly. Thank you. Hold on a minute. No, I've got an invasion going on, I think. Somebody sneaking around behind me. Why do I get the feeling I'm being invaded by JD and Jack? He got cameras. I heard Emma going nuts upstairs. I figured somebody was at the door.
Yes, you were. Cameras everywhere.
I got eyes in the back. Yeah, I'm definitely sidetracked now.
We ran you off the tracks. That's what we did. And you want to know whose idea this was?
Jack's.
No,
JD.
No.
Oh,
Sparky's.
Oh, of course it was Sparky's. Of course it was Sparky's, and I can't see it.
How you gonna blame me?
I figured nothing else.
Come on, man.
There. I was going to say, there's plenty of chairs over there. I never pulled everything apart from last night. Yeah, ambush. Thanks, Todd. Alan's saying you all came back for the leftovers.
What leftovers?
Yeah, the only thing that was left was the wings.
Yeah.
There weren't many of those left.
Shoot, go down to Texas. There will be no wings. Trust me.
If I'm on camera, I'll be behind Greg.
Yeah, unfortunately, I only brought over one other camera, and that one's up here.
So we got the trifecta. We got John Diddley, we got Ray, and we got Joe. This is definitely finna go off the track. This is definitely finna go off the track. The last time y'all was in, these two was in chat, and you was Ed went. Woo! I couldn't stop laughing, and it was wow. I don't know how this is gonna go. So I'm just gonna sit over here.
I sat there. I was real quiet when I knocked on the front door. I'm looking through the window there, and I thought, his wife's got to be home. And I said, well, maybe she didn't hear me knock, so I rang the doorbell, but she still didn't come up. And I said, we're going to have to go around to the basement door.
Which ain't open.
And, when we came around the corner, I said, I see your wife sitting there watching TV. And I real lightly tapped over the glass.
She's probably upstairs cussing me out right now.
I'm sorry.
She opened up the door. She says, I don't open up the door this late. I said, well, I don't blame you.
Yeah. I wouldn't open up for this batch of strangers either.
She said, Ray's door is last. Yeah, we
know.
That's why we're here. We're here to screw with him, so don't say anything.
Where is Sparky? Is Sparky in
He's just in there. He's there. He's there. So you can't blame me. You cannot blame me.
I'll blame Joe because he drove you over.
No, you a jack.
Blame everybody but the person that started.
Exactly.
Yeah, you know who all that is, don't you, Emma?
You know us.
Yeah, that was just saying that she has been absolutely worn out.
Hello, girl.
Oh my gosh! Yeah.
John and I had dinner while Numbnuts here was still playing on the layout.
And you know what? I finished it in less than an hour and 7 minutes. I was determined to prove a point that I could make that in less than 2 hours.
Oh, great! Now we're really Heath's in here. Oh my goodness! Oh boy! Yeah, now things are really off the rails.
Somebody must have said his name 3 times.
Now, if I walk downstairs, there's Sparky. Now, if I walk down, I wonder what. Yeah, right. I'd be in the bathroom. Oh man, you all ain't right.
We ain't wrong.
You got me there. Oh, jeez. This is just gone. Yeah.
What's the show about tonight, right?
Yeah, I see a lot of guys in the chat that we've seen all week.
Everybody's there. Yeah, everybody's there. Okay, so everybody's here. So that's all that matters.
Right?
Oh, geez, a whiz.
This has been a very exciting and rewarding weekend.
And the hits just keep on coming.
Yep.
You got Jack hanging out on this side, and then JD's hanging out over here. You can't see either one of them. Well, there's JD.
I'm camera shy.
That's why we got.
I'm camera shy.
and I got them convinced to leave the house no later than 5:30 tomorrow morning. And if you leave at 5:30, you might miss all the traffic between here and 70.
You might miss it.
You might.
Might.
let's put that in percentage instead of might.
Yeah.
50-50 toss up.
50-50 toss.
Yeah, 50-50 toss up. Oh,
Oh,
geez.
what?
Depends on the 1 minute that we're, which side of the minute we are on.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. Yep, pretty much. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely sidetracked now.
So I gotta say, what's the discussion going on tonight?
Well, I had started talking about this road in the streetcar museum, but
That was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot of
That
fun.
was fun.
yeah.
Very fun. I went out while y'all was all literally. I would have got another ride.
Well, hey,
Yeah,
why
I
not?
would have got another ride. You want another ride? Hell yeah. Shoot. How long is it gonna be before I get on another kind of passenger car of any sort?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that was what I was talking about before. Yeah, I forgot to close. Literally, Martin, I forgot to close the door. That sucker should have been freaking barricaded, is what it should have been.
No, we're not doing that barricade, man. No, I have traveled too far.
Dave,
Too far.
does this count as a group photo? Oh, thanks, Opa Dodge. To be sidetracked, don't you have to be on the track to begin with?
There you go.
They know me too well.
See, the missing element of all of this is that knucklehead Sparky.
Yeah.
That's the missing element. I wish he would have been here because this would have been even worse.
It would have caused even more trouble.
Worse. The whole weekend would have been a follow from the train show all the way to right now. You can't mess that up. So,
oh, geez, Dwayne, really?
Bolts. We were down back to the metal bolts.
Oh no!
And you don't see that much of it. You only see about 4 inches of it.
What was Jack trying to say? I'm a good influence.
since when? Since when? You at the top of the list. Come on, man.
Hell, Sparky, you can make money as a YouTube influencer.
Right? Right? He is the top of the food chain. Jeez.
Why are you laughing at that? Because of oh, jeez. Anyway, and I'm all,
It was a toss-up on whether we got here right before you went on. And then we said, no, let's sneak in after he's on.
really,
I
the
have
real.
nothing to do with this. I am. I just said I'm ready to go. Let's go. That's all I can say.
You're pleading the fifth, eh?
Yeah, he'll drink one too.
So,
Oh my gosh.
but being up here, seeing everybody, it has been a wonderful experience. Thank
Yeah.
y'all, John, Joe, Ray.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
absolutely.
has been a wonderful time.
Yeah.
And I've already told them, excuse my language. I'm sorry. Fuck the other 3 train shows because I'm going straight back to tomorrow. I can't even say it right now. I'm coming Timonium.
Yep.
Cause that I had a blast. I'm sorry. I had a blast. Now that's what a train show is supposed to be all about. It's not about trying to keep the stuff or hold on to it. It's trying to get rid of the stuff. Sell that stuff so someone else can have a good time with whatever you're selling.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So
Those deals that you got don't come up often, but every once in a while. Yeah.
that deal that I got from Yankee Down, it don't even exist. You know? And it's amazing how many people went through there and they wasn't paying attention to what Yankee Down was selling.
Yeah.
I mean, the Walters and the Silver, or those the
Walters mainline they had on sale.
No, but I'm talking about the ones in a silver box. They was
I didn't see
15, 2 for $40.
Hmm.
And those had the those had all the name lines, main name lines, like the BNSF, the Santa Fe. Those was more expensive. But 2 for $40, you still getting $20 per box.
Anthony said there were 16 of us.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. Yeah, there was 16 of us over here that Ian was here and then he left early before dinner got, or right as dinner got here because he had to get back home.
Yeah, we were trying to think of everybody who showed up over at my place. And I thought, well, let's see. I pulled 5 cars out to give away, and I gave away all 5 cars. So I know I definitely had 5 newcomers. Now, who was everybody else that showed up that had already been here before?
I'm still waiting for my other box car that I didn't get. Wait a minute, hold on, Joe. I got 2 box cars. I have 2 hoppers. And before that, I had 11 cars from Joe. 11. 11. And I gave 3 of them to Roy, which are sitting in a damn box.
And he's not in here. Deep Run Mike's in the house. But yeah, there was 6.
Yeah, we would love to get up the Deschler next weekend.
Yeah, that's the like I said, it's going to be because I'm actually going to be out the weekend after, so it's like
one of us has to work, and one of us doesn't know what the hell work is anymore.
And one of us wish he was off that weekend. I'm having too much fun with all of y'all knuckleheads. Gosh almighty.
Oh.
See, this is where all the train community is up north.
All of us. Oh, it's because it gets cold up here. We have to something to keep
all
ourselves
up together and play with trains.
Yeah, it's something that we got to do something to keep ourselves occupied when it gets too cold to go outside.
I kept telling them, man, I want to play on this layout. I want to play on this layout. That there, I can't even talk again.
He wants to play on your layout.
I know he does.
I figure next year when you come up,
Next year I'm definitely want to be on there. By that time, this whole end will be.
Maybe by that time the dam will be done.
Damn.
You can tell what the conversation was last night. It was all about the dam.
The damn.
The dam that ain't done. I'm lucky I got scenery on either side of the freaking thing.
Hey, you got some scenery.
Well,
some people don't have scenery.
Yeah.
Shut up, Chad. Don't you dare say a word.
He has the plywood jungle over there.
The plywood jungle. Hey. But that paper, that line I got on there make a great scenery because it's already brown. There's my dirt.
Okay, it's a desert.
There you go.
You got a plywood desert.
He's modeling New Mexico?
New Mexico,
Arizona,
California,
Utah.
So once you get the Oregon, it ain't happening.
You all see what I put up with for the last 48 hours, right?
And you wouldn't have it any other way.
You damn straight. You damn straight. It was funny. We were down at the Streetcar Museum this afternoon. When we got there, I told JD, I says, you'll never guess what popped up last night. I said, when we started the Bridge Guys a couple of years ago, I said that launch video that we did where he took over Sidetrack Sunday for me and kept hitting the wrong buttons. He didn't have audio, and it went black screen. We're all in the basement on that one going, Jesus, what did I do? Oh.
That turned out to be a debacle from hell.
Yeah, I can move this. We can move the table. I can move that out of the way, JD, and you can scoot over on this side.
Oh,
That way all 3 of you can get in.
That way everybody's in.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Act like you like each other.
I just sat here because I was behind Ray. I'm like, well, I was here.
And we've been here all weekend.
I don't care being off
This
camera.
This will be the night where we just tear it loose.
Like it didn't happen yesterday or this morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sparky's right. We all get talking and forget to run trains every year.
Yeah.
What we at 20 minutes already in?
Yeah. 22
Time flies
minutes.
when you got 4 knuckleheads together.
Sidetrack Sunday this week will be a giggle fest.
Deep run mic. My phone just phone screen just broke. Jack's rubbing off on me. I can't talk either. Jeez, crackers. Yeah, it ain't that is dreadful. Well, JD just said that happens every year. You know, you get down here, you sit there and start talking and forget to run trains, or forget to take a group photo, which happened again.
It did happen. We finally got one in.
Well, yeah, that
Wait a
was
minute, we
got a
didn't take one
partial
at the show?
No, we didn't.
No,
Nobody
yeah.
pulled out a phone to take a picture.
Nobody did. They didn't
Nobody
take-
did.
I didn't take pictures of my house when everybody came over. Ray didn't take pictures here when everybody came over.
Hey, everybody come back so we can do this
Again.
No.
Let's see if I can. Oh, that worked. Oh, hey, we're upside down.
God dang, your camera making me look blacker than black.
Oh.
I can barely see my eyes. All I see is my beard.
Oh, that ain't gonna work because that camera's gonna be upside down. That's all right. That's the desk shot.
The dust shot.
Yeah, I was gonna show some of the stuff that was gifted or I bought, but that's okay.
Oh.
Go right ahead.
No. This is a heck of a lot more fun. Oh,
I thought I did.
Well, I'm sure everybody wants to see what you got.
Hey, wait a minute. Oh, it just came loose.
You screwed it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, the only picture that actually got taken of a group was all I was down there at the
Streetcar Museum this afternoon.
That's the only one, and we only had half of everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only had half of the folks there. There we go. Now we can get. Let's see if I can get this. Maybe. Yeah, I'm messing around off screen on the other side of OBS here. All right, let's see. That's that camera. So if I do that,
I'm about to die.
And Jack here, he's
I'm about to die on my phone.
Oh, I was gonna say.
Ow.
there's
Jack,
an outlet right there behind you.
Perfect.
I've
I don't
got an
have to see
extension.
chat.
I've got an extension. Actually, you could go ahead and plug right into this extension cord.
Okay, great.
Which would make it closer anyway.
Oh, that stuff doesn't need to be plugged in anyways. There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Yep. Oh, let's see if I can get this to work a little bit better. Maybe not. No, that didn't work.
Yeah.
I was looking up.
Yeah.
That 1% got me all the way home.
Maybe if I do that. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's not gonna work either.
You'll figure it out about the same time you get the damn done.
Oh, boy.
Oh.
Sparky's wondering what tonight's show is about.
I'm still wondering what tonight's show going to be about.
He's going to show off his gifts.
That's stuff you got at the show.
You're right. Well, I was going to, but that's all right.
No. Go on, show me else.
Yeah, we ain't seen
We ain't
it
seen
either.
Yeah. Mike, we're teasing us. Man.
Oh man! All right. So Jack was talking about cheap stuff. Well, yeah, I found these. These were a buck a piece, gondola loads. They're gondola loads. I've seen these a long time ago, and I don't remember where I've seen them. But I guess they're for holding salt or something of that nature, and they just drop them. They just drop them into the gondola car. So I bought 4 of them. Of course, then Tom Grassi's like, "You could have 3D printed that." I probably could have, but it would have taken me a while because I don't have that kind of skill of going ahead and putting stuff on in CAD. Yeah, I know, Sparky. I'm trying to see if I can fix the angle of this thing.
Little tutti frutti. I see a 3D printer.
Yep. Well, that was one of the points of building the desk, is so I'd have some place for the 3D printer to where it wasn't shaking everything apart, which was another issue with it. When it ran, it was the way it was set up before. Everything was shifting, and I'm like, yeah, that's not going to work. It's going to end up knocking stuff out of whack. Anyway,
Bob, he's from Corsicana, Texas. So Jack actually gets the longest. But if you want to go by mileage, I had to drive down to his house to pick his ass up. So yeah, I get the mileage.
Yeah, I know, Messi. We were talking about that this afternoon down at the Streetcar Museum. And speaking of streetcars, Dave over at DB Tech dropped that off to me. This one here was one of the ones that he worked on his live stream. This one here is the Beale Street, so that'll be added to the layout. And I'm going down the list here, so we'll get there. And then he also dropped off a B&O 040 switcher. That'll get added to the Steam collection. I'll have to. I know I've got some challenges to catch up on. So, and apparently I've also got a couple of extra Beethovens, even smaller than the one that I had, which is really cool. And then of course Dave had to send me that too. He's like, yeah, you need that because it's got Towson on it, and that works. For those that don't know, 695 is like 500 yards behind my house, so it's that close. It's the Baltimore Beltway, which isn't actually a loop anymore because the Key Bridge got taken out. So, and then of course we've got a B&O gondola car, which will be great for carrying those salt containers. And then Ian over to Chattanooga Southern was kind enough to send over a pair of trolleys. Now, more than likely, I haven't looked at this yet. I would imagine the way that they used to do these, because I actually have a set from my grandmother's old N-Gauge. What they used to do is these were a powered unit with the unpowered trailer. And I don't know if that's the way IHC did it or not. Let's see what we've got here. We have, this one here is obviously a powered unit. Wow, that's nice. It's even got a sprung trolley pickup catenary pole. And these are both powered, I think. No, this is not powered. It's a dummy.
So one is a powered one.
Yeah, one's a powered, the other one's the trailer. That's cool. Yeah, those will look good up on the Interurban. have to get those together and see what we got. But that's really cool. I really do appreciate it. And I know some folks had put some stuff aside for me last night too, so I do appreciate that as well. And I'm still not on camera. Maybe I shouldn't be on camera. Maybe it's trying to tell me something. Ray is calm now. Laugh out loud. Thanks, Russ. Was on the.
He's asking about the trolley line.
Oh, asking about the Interurban. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. I've got a pair of passenger cars down here too that they dropped off. Sorry, I almost forgot about that. So we got a pair of B&O passenger cars. I have to go ahead and see if they'll work with the other B&O passenger cars that I've got. If not, this one. Oh, I didn't realize that's an observation car.
Observation car.
Yeah.
For the tail end.
That'll be nice. I can definitely add that to the. I'll just have to see about adding that to the two B&O trains that I've got.
They didn't have observation on the end, did they?
What's that?
A lot of them didn't have the
Oh
observation.
yeah, everybody had some sort of a tail end car.
Okay.
Yeah, they either had that or they had the fishbowl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't. There weren't too many. Although I've seen plenty of models where Atherin did it. I think Rossi did it, and maybe one or two other manufacturers where they had dome cars for the B&O in the Pennsylvania. I don't remember. Of course, I was a little young to remember when passenger service stopped. I don't ever remember seeing a domed car for either one of the two railroads around here. I don't know if they ran them or not. Now, obviously, if they made a model of it, they had to get that model from someplace.
Yeah.
But I would imagine they may have just taken like a Union Pacific, just slapped Pennsylvania or Baltimore and I on the side of it.
Yeah.
That's what Athearn does with all their cars.
Right, exactly.
Their bay window caboose that they made 40 million of in all different paint schemes is based off a Southern Pacific. Period. That's the only one that they use, which is why if you get the ones that are labeled for B&O or Chessie or anything else, your windows don't match.
Right.
Not enough windows in that caboose to be real.
Well, let's see what's going on here. Hold on. Oh yeah, the interurban, the trolley line was on the upper level, and it's the interurban's on the upper level of this one. I think that's what Sparky was talking about. Let's see here.
The trolley gonna go all the way to the one end, or just staying on?
No, we didn't get a chance to show you that. I didn't get a chance to talk about that layout, or you didn't see when I was talking about that. It actually ends inside the backdrop on top of the Harrisburg Yard on this end.
Just past the church.
Just past the church. It actually goes through the backdrop.
Okay.
And on the south end, which is downtown Beauville, which is on the other side of the backdrop, on that side, there's going to be a car barn.
Okay.
And the way that I want it to work is I'm going to have 3 streetcars. So what'll happen is that there's 2 of them in downtown Beauville. One would leave, come all the way up here to the north end. Once it gets to the end of the line, the one that's already up here turns around and goes the other way. So when it gets into the car barn, the other one leaves the car barn, comes up here, and they're constantly swapping. And it's going to be run by that trio pacer that's in the dispatcher's panel. That was what that third control is going to be for.
For the trolley.
For the trolley system only. Yep.
Gotcha.
And Dave did go ahead and went ahead and 3D printed a couple of bumper stops for my O-gauge trolley. Now, that actually isn't mine. I've actually got one, but the bump and go isn't mine. It actually belongs to a family member that I was working on for. I don't know when he's going to have the chance to actually take that back. He's having his house redone, which is the reason why I have actually had time to mess with it. He actually lives 3 doors down. And no, not the band. I was waiting to see if anybody caught that. All right, Martin over at Life with Roscoe is asking if I've got plans for the other layout that is in the storage area. No, I don't. Actually, that is going to go to Hot Rod Rodney. He has asked me about that. That was something that was given to me. I was planning on possibly using it. But then when I got to a point with this, it was like, I have no use for this thing, and I really don't want to take it apart. Although I did take a few things off of it, I really did destroy it, so it can be reused. This camera is just like out of whack. Of course, and again,
Might have something to do with the show.
So, any rate, I do know that Stormy Sky Rail Productions was saying something earlier about there's going to be a meet and greet on the 1st of November up in Deschler, Ohio. So if anybody is interested in that, I would imagine you probably want to reach out to the folks over at Stormy Sky, and that would be Jenny, Dave, and Steve. So, hey, Randall Ellison is in the house. I thought I saw something. Did I see that Ed from Happy Valley Hobbies is in here too?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay. Oh, hello, Ed. Sorry about that. If I've missed anybody else, hopefully I didn't. But between the laughter of being invaded by these 3,
What?
Dave,
We were just giving instructions.
Sparky.
Yeah, he's the head instigator.
He's that instigator. Oh, so Trackside Mike is actually Wait a minute. Do I have things mixed up? Hey, Beaumont Hill Subdivision, JP, welcome in. Oh, so I'm sorry. Trackside Mike is spearheading Deschler. Gotcha. Okay. I gotcha. Yeah, the thing of it is the weekend after is my wife and mine's anniversary. So we've already got, I can't, there would be 3 weekends in a row, and I think I'd end up getting thrown in the shit out back for a bit if I did that.
Yeah.
Happy spouse, happy house.
Otherwise, everybody be coming up on a crime scene. I just said that about Jason earlier.
Good. I finally got that camera out of the other cameras. There we go. So, I'll tell you what. Because of the fact, I mean, it's usually I do, but since you've been here obviously before, Joe, and I know that JD and Jack, this is their first time up to Timonium, the first time seeing the 2 layouts, the first time hanging out with
Probably won't be the last.
I would hope not.
Y'all a loot. A hoot.
What did you think?
It's awesome. It's just totally awesome. I going to Joe's and seeing his layout in person.
I completed semi-completed layout, or mostly completed.
It's phenomenal.
Yeah.
If you have a chance, you got to come and see it. You really do.
Yeah, one of the things that has, at least to me, and of course, after Joe and I figured out that we were 10 minutes apart, and I finally got a chance to go over it.
Only took us 5 years
To figure that out. Yeah. And I first got over there, and it was kind of the same thing when I got to go down to see Anthony's Georgia Sunbelt. Was pictures and video do not do it justice. You have to see it in person.
Absolutely.
The 2 of them, well, let's start with the Black Rock. The work that Joe has put into that railroad, the refinery, the cement plant, it's
his town.
The town is what gets it.
The thing that got me when I first went over there and saw that daggone refinery, and I'm looking at it going, I don't even want to know how much time that work took. I really don't. I mean, I've got some patience. I certainly wouldn't have patience to put all that freaking piping together. That was insane. I mean, the bridge drove me nuts, but to put all that piping together, that's the thing that got me, and how big that scene itself is. And of course, when I first got over there, you had just changed the refinery towers over to those flickering lights too. Yeah. That was awesome.
Oh, really? You should see it at night.
Yeah.
I mean, it'll blow you away.
Yeah.
It'll blow you away.
Yeah. It's. I don't know if I've actually. I don't know if you've had the lights down.
I don't think you've seen it. With the nighttime lights on that I use.
Yeah.
It's beautiful.
And it's one of the things that I've had on the older railroads that I had was, having all the street lights lit and all the houses having lights, and it adds a different element when you turn the lights down and the only thing you see are the street lights and that. Yeah, the thing of it is one of the things that my dad and I didn't realize years ago is even back then the plastic was on the thin side, and if you if you had the power up too far, it looked like the house was on fire.
Yep.
And it was one of the things that when I get finished or get to a point on here, I am going to have street lights, I am going to have house lights, and so on and so forth. One of the things that my dad did that I would have loved to have gone back and done on this, years ago, they used to have twinkling Christmas lights. Somehow or other, my father had found or gotten a hold of like real thin, it was like a silky type material. It actually came from a trade show. And it was dark blue. Now, what he decided to do, instead of using wood for a backdrop, he used cardboard. And he poked holes in the cardboard and put those lights through the cardboard.
Made it start like.
So what happened is when it hit that fabric, it started, and the effect was like, oh, that's awesome. The problem with that is that was dark blue, and there was no real light blue to be this color. And I can't imagine how many freaking lights I would need to put into that freaking backdrop to make stars.
Well, where you don't want to put the stars, you paint a cloud. Then you don't need as many.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
I'm sure someone.
Oh, jeez. Rusty. I didn't realize. Oh, John, don't encourage him. You're already getting me in trouble over here. Yeah, exactly.
The thing with putting street lights and everything else in, make that one of the last things that you do, because you will freaking break them if you go ahead and put them in now before you have all your buildings done and everything else. Yeah, you will end up snapping off the street lights left and right.
Measure everything, get everything just right, and then finally put the lights in.
One of the things that
That's like using ballast.
yeah.
Mhm.
One of the things that I thought years ago, we had a fellow that used to live in the area. When my dad was telling him, hey, yeah, I've got a, he's like, oh, you've got a model railroad? And he's like, yeah, I've got it. Well, he comes over and he looks at my dad and goes, this isn't a model railroad. This is a toy. My dad's like, what do you mean? He says, look, he says, you want to come see a model railroad? He says, bring your son, come up to my house. I'll show you a model railroad. But he started really digging in. Now, this is back when it was the 2 4x8s and the 2x5. Actually, the 2x5 wasn't even in yet. It was just the 2 4x8s. But one of the things that really struck him is when we did turn out the lights and all the lights on the layout came up, and he's like, oh, crap. And then he's sitting there looking, and he's like, wait a second. Those street lights, he says, are they actually being powered from the overhead, or are they being... My dad's like, no. Back in the 50s, they were powered from the overhead. They used to have cotton-covered wire, and you used to run the wire from pole to pole, and that's how you got the lights to light. He says, they don't make cotton-covered wire anymore. And then he's like, yeah, I know they don't because it's a fire hazard. He's like, yeah. So what my dad had done is he had gotten thin black thread. And this is the part that used to drive him crazy when I was younger, was we would get to the point, Christmas Eve, everything is on the layout. It's time to string the poles. And my father would sit there trying to put the thread through. First off, put the thread through a needle because he couldn't see the. So he's trying to, and he can't do it like, and he's like, all right, you string the freaking poles.
You know, he may have set you up for that.
He probably did. God rest his soul, but he probably did. Hey, Kyle Stevens is in the house.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's Alan's birthday. We need Wilmer to sing a song.
Somebody get a hold of Wilmer. We need him on the live stream. Hey, wait a minute. No, we've got one better. We could get Open Dodge to do it.
Hey.
Hey, CE&I John, welcome in.
John.
Hey, John.
Mr. John Author. Oh, goodness. But yeah, I mean, trust me, the first time I went over there, I was like, whoa, really? And then, of course, I've been over there maybe once or twice after the fact. You keep making it, it's like, okay, look, I can't even get anywhere on mine. You keep making improvements to yours. That was until I finally got up the nerve to paint my damn backdrop. Just walk away, Anthony. They will forget. Open Dodgers wonder what he got volunteered for. Singing happy birthday to Alan.
In your finest German accent.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, no. He needs to do it in the Smokey's voice. That's all a bunch of horse poop. Doesn't look like you boys are running any trains. Nope. This thing got derailed about 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
What's he talking about?
Derailed.
Oh, like I said, I'm going to go up.
Anybody derailed this Sparky?
You just had a couple of friends
Depending
drop by.
He is the true influencer. Influence.
I'm doing this best rusty twanger. Oh no, or Joyce David doing Daisy Crockett. Oh,
Yeah.
oh jeez. Yeah, Sparky's pleading the fifth. You can't blame me. I'm not there.
In spirit.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Of course, Ed, that never happens in this live stream anyway. Oh man. All right. So I'm going to mention one thing here real quick. I'll never forget the first time that Anthony from the Georgia Sunbelt came over here. And I'm sitting there, I'm getting things together, and I look over and he's sitting on the step. I'm like, "You all right?" He says, "I'm just taking it all in." He's like, "I had no idea."
That's like his layout. What you see on video is nothing
Yeah.
compared to what the hell that layout
Oh
is.
my gosh. Yeah. The Georgia Sunbelt.
Sunbelt. Anthony's.
Yeah. Anthony's
Really?
Georgia Sunbelt is another
I
masterpiece.
seen video, but I haven't.
Yeah.
Well, if you get a chance next time up here, maybe if he hasn't moved by that time.
Yeah. 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 You guys need to, if anybody's in there, they need to go down there and see that.
Yeah, I would take it all in.
He does tours every once in a while, but you still don't get the full effect of the size of that layout that he has.
How
No.
big is it?
It takes up half of a basement.
Almost big as yours?
Hey,
It's.
I remember Anthony when he was starting to build that.
I think it's larger than mine.
Anthony over the Georgia Sunbelt, if you're still in here, how big is that layout of yours?
I actually think it's larger. I think space-wise, it's larger than mine.
It might be close, but he did more of an island. Well, though he did around the wall too.
Yeah,
So
he
he
did-
did.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an island and a peninsula, or just?
Well, I
No,
remember,
it's all
I remember
island.
when the weight room
Yeah,
we're
went
all-
away and he expanded over to where the weight room was. Yeah, I watched his progression from the beginning.
I think a Georgia Sunbelt may have disappeared on us.
He went to bed. He went to bed.
Yeah, he was like, "Heck with these guys. I've seen them all weekend."
Yeah, I've had enough.
There is never enough.
There you go.
for us.
It's an irregular 14 by 26.
Oh yeah, damn.
Okay, mine's 12 by 23. Is what mine figures out to be.
And mine's 34 by 8. Mine's just long.
It's actually
Long,
on two
long
walls,
wall.
It's 23 feet there, 21 feet this way, then 23 feet this way. But then the L is only 12 feet.
Right.
You have to fix all that together after it moves around a little bit.
Yeah, Grandpa Rails is over here moderating from his phone. Jack's on his phone on the other side.
And the idiot's in the middle.
I was-
Now he's talking about you, Ray.
I'm still trying to figure out how you recognize us when we came in. I'm like, do we have a camera? Where's
Yeah,
the
I was
camera?
starting to wonder when you said something about the camera. I'm like, how in the hell? But once I stepped on the steps, I was like, well, it's kind of hard for somebody not to know somebody's coming down
The
the steps.
steps. Yeah, the steps creak. That's how I knew somebody was coming down the steps. Because I knew it wasn't the wife. I'm like, yeah.
You could have said the dog was going to. It's like,
I know how she sounds when she comes down the steps.
oh, okay.
Because she doesn't come down, she bounces down the steps. You can hear her coming. It's It's not step. Step is. It sounds like a rock coming down the steps. Oh man. So anyway, back to the whole thing with the street pole. But he was like, "Yeah, you need to come out to my house." What we didn't or what my dad didn't realize, and I actually kind of credit him for planting the seed for this.
Mhm.
The fellow's name is Rick Meadall, who I'm pretty certain, unfortunately, has long since passed away. He was from Bavaria.
Who?
He was from
Bavaria.
Bavaria.
That's a country in Europe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And he, like Opa Dodge, ran European steam.
Okay.
I mean, he ran nothing but European steam. And that just fascinated the heck out of me. I mean, these unique steam locomotives, because as we all know, European steam and American steam don't look anything like each other.
No, they don't.
They are completely out. Opa Dodge just corrected me. It's a state in Germany. Yeah, he was very, I guess, instrumental in getting me hooked into the model railroad side of things instead of just playing with trains. He was the one that, if you hear me talk about from time to time, the old VHS tapes, and yes, I know I'm dating myself with these, but he went ahead and recorded and gave to my dad like 4 or 5 VHS tapes from when Model Railroader did their original Model Railroad tours. Before Alan Keller took over and made it his own producing company, he was in a partnership with them. He did a lot of those layout tours. It was that, and then there was modeling scenery with the experts. We had Dave Frary and John Olson, it was John Olson and just that group. Dagnabbit. I was just watching it the other night. I actually sent it over to the Sidetrack Sunday crew because I always had a laugh when him and Alan got together on the San Juan Central and the Malcolm Furlow. Those guys, it was like, okay, wow. And then, of course, like I said, they had the layout tours. You got to see Laurel Joyner's Great Southern and Bruce Chubb's Sunset Valley system, along with others. In fact, Alan from Mason-Dixon, I meant to ask you, when they do those layout tours, I remembered seeing last year, there was a fellow that was up in New Jersey, like southern New Jersey. He was I think he was on layout tour number 4. It was an N-scale layout with animation. And I cannot remember his name.
Can't help you there.
Yeah, I mean, I would really love to go see that layout because he was like a science or a physics teacher or something like that. And he actually had, like I said, animation in N-scale. The thing that really got me was the fact that he had a fireworks display that would go off when the lights went down. This was at the beginning of fiber optics. He had actually created a horn that would drop, and when it dropped, the lights would come on, and the fiber optics would fan out, and it would look like fireworks dropping from the sky.
Shut up.
It was a really unique effect.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if he still has any of that. But, I mean, not to mention,
is there video of it?
Rick Spano, the Scenic and Undecided. Yes, that's it. That is it. That's the one. The other thing that got me, he wanted to put his locomotives to work.
Mm-hmm.
At one point in time, I think on that N gauge layout, there was a 4 or 5% grade. And he would sit there and put 5 or 6 engines together to get the load up to get the cars up the hill.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
And it was on a switchback. It was literally, well, it wasn't a literal switchback, but it was on a switchback too. But yes, Rick Spano, Scenic and Undecided. Then the reason why he called it that, he modeled bits and pieces of the Burlington Northern, the Canadian National, The Chicago, I think it was the Chicago Northwestern. And there was another railroad, but it was a mixed match of everything. And not only that, but his town, his major city was like a mix of Duluth, Trenton, and someplace else. And it's like, how in the heck did you kit bash that together? Because it couldn't be any more different. But he had he also had an ore loader where the cars would come down to the dock, would empty, and they would pick up, there was a crane over a ship, and it would actually pick this stuff up off the dock and go over and dump it into the ship. And this was all an N scale. Hard enough to do an HO scale or above.
Even harder.
Yeah, an N scale, it's like, it's damn near impossible. Yeah, great name for a layout. Yeah.
Right.
Scenic and undecided. Like I said, I don't know if there's any video out there of it or not. I'm sure there has to be. Met him in his last, yeah, that's cool.
If anybody do post the link,
Yeah.
I would like to see this.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody gets a chance that they can go ahead and look that up, Alan, and see if there is anything out there on it. That would be cool. It was just wild because the other week, like I said, I was going through YouTube and somebody had posted, like I said, modeling with Malcolm Furlow when he did that video with Alan from Alan Keller from that video company. And it was freaking hilarious. He said he has no okay. He has a YouTube. I'm trying to find it. Cool. Sparky may have just posted it. Cool. There you go.
This right here.
Open link in new tab. Let me take a look. That's it.
That's 9 years ago.
Yeah.
I have seen this.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna save that for later.
Save it,
I'm
yeah.
definitely gonna save this.
Oh, look at that! Bob actually found out that he's got a website too.
Really?
Yep. And it's not secure. I bet you it's something in the.
Is those are circus cars?
Yeah. Oh yeah, he actually had. He's actually got a circus scene in there too, and he actually has a gorilla bending the bars on the car.
Yeah.
And N scale. Oh yeah. You'll find that in that video. It's like I said, the man was just ridiculous.
Somebody was a genius.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of Laurie McLean? He's the guy from down under. He does. I think it's ON30.
Okay.
This guy is an animated genius. he has a flat car that has a bluegrass band playing music. I mean, all the arms are going. He's got a conductor on a caboose with a lantern. His arm swings back and forth. And he's got the fireman shoveling coal. I mean, this guy, his whole layout is just phenomenal.
Jeez.
With the animation, it just, and the work, because you see him, he cuts the arm off of the
Right.
model, and then so he can get it working for the swinging back and forth and running wire. I mean, just, it's amazing what he does. I think it's ON30.
Well, like I said, some of the animation I can see an O or even G. I mean, that makes it a little bit easier. You start getting in the H, O, and N, and it's like damn near impossible.
Yeah.
I do remember on one of the layout tours. This is one of the ones that's in the area. The Chesapeake and Allegheny. That's the Severna. That's the Severna Park Model Railroad Club. The fellow. This was back in the 80s. The one fellow was a physician and had gotten hold of some extra surgical tube that they couldn't use. So he air compressed and made a brake system for an ore drop, or a coal drop. One of the things with the Chesapeake and Allegheny is it was a point to point. It was the way it was designed. They actually had a fellow that would sit up underneath the coal tipple during operating sessions. And as the train would push the cars in, he was in contact with the operator, would tell him when to stop, or he would sit there and start filling the car up with coal. And once it got filled, then they would push the next one in, and it would start loading that one. And it was all done by closed circuit TV. And then from that point, when it got down to the seaport, the train would back it up on the ramp. It would drop into a rotary coal dump. The car would get clamped in place on the tracks. The whole thing rotated, the dump, and then it would rotate back straight up. The clamps would release, and the car would go through the switchbacks and go down to the street level. And it was all done with compressed air. And I'm like, okay, yeah, you all are, yeah.
Well, somewhere along the line, and I haven't been over there yet. I know my guy across the street from me keeps talking about it. There is a layout down in Martin Marietta, down at the airport.
Okay.
Close to the Martin Marietta Museum.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
one of those. Now, they just recently actually moved into that building.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know
Yes.
how far they are along on construction or anything else.
I know he's not in here, and I'd have to look it up on Facebook. My buddy,
That's getting old.
yes, it does. Eric, he has taken his son over there
Okay.
because his son's in that. He loves airplanes. I mean, his son's like 5 or 6 years old, but he's been over there to see the airplanes. And it was originally, I think, a Lions Club or something like that, and they had lost their lease and needed someplace to go. And Martin State Airport was like, "Bring it on down."
Yeah.
So they've got it set up in the airport. I think they got it operational last year. Then somebody the other day when I was at bowling, they were talking about the fact that they wanted to go back over to White Marsh Volunteer Fire Department because they said that one there was weren't too impressed with, or they haven't been as impressed with Wise Avenue, but they said that the White Marsh has got a really nice display.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
That's the old Callahan Car Company.
See what
Yeah.
Tom put in there?
What's that?
Tom said he got just created mini-me's of Ray and Jack. We'll print them tomorrow.
Okay.
Oh boy. Friends like this, I don't need enemies.
Golly. I hate to see what that looked like. I hate to see what that.
It depends on what picture he used.
That's key.
Yep.
That's key. Oh boy.
Oh my gosh. Take it easy, Georgia. Take it easy, Anthony. We'll see you, buddy.
Good night, Anthony.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Oh. Oh my goodness. What a bunch.
At least he put a little light color to my skin tone when he makes.
Yeah.
I'm looking at right now is just complete. I'm just blending in like camouflage on black.
He looks like he should be robbing somebody downtown.
Right?
Thanks, Martin. You mean you have friends? No, I don't have. This is family. There ain't no friends in this community. We're family.
We're family.
We're family. We are beyond friends. You can't get this kind of nuttiness from friends.
I really can't.
What we really would need in here would be the tree.
Yes.
Yes. Rick Bailey.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he would. Yeah. Yeah.
Sure
Miss that guy.
Yeah.
Of course, then again, as tall as he is, we'd all be blanked out.
Well, the neat thing of it is we could put him and Dave side by side. We could just hide behind them.
There you
Yeah.
go. That's true. Two skyscrapers.
Yeah, absolutely. No, this is all family here. We are beyond friends now. Yeah, that is to me one of the biggest things with these meet and greets over the last few years. Not just mine, but Sparky's and everybody else's. The get-togethers that we've had and the fun. Hey, Tammy and Ray, welcome aboard.
Tammy Ray.
Hey,
Hello
Tammy.
Tammy, I need help. I got invaded.
Tammy, you know you can't help him. He's beyond help.
We lost that battle before we got there. And the
What
more-
the heck have you been telling him, JD?
I already know. What are you talking about? John don't have to tell me anything. I've been in the live stream.
He's watched the show.
I've watched the show. I remember the show where all three of you caused chaos and destruction.
Never happened.
Which show was that?
The very first,
first
one.
one?
That
That was, if I remember right, that was episode number 7 of this program.
It was back in 2020. It was funny because I was telling JD about that earlier about the when it came up on my TV upstairs as I was trying to relax last night. The live show that JD took over for me for us to announce the Bridge Guys, and how that stream got started where he couldn't get it started, and then he finally gets it going, and then he didn't have audio, so he shut it off, brought it back. He had audio, and then like 2 or 3 minutes in, all of a sudden he just disappeared. Rick and I are in the basement in the basement of StreamYard going, oh geez. And then he pops back and stop pushing buttons. Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. And absolutely, Dave, I couldn't say that. I couldn't agree more to that one. We definitely missed having Tammy and Ray up here. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Speaking of which, wait 1 second. Before I forget it, since Tammy and Ray are here, has anybody heard from Dave over at Carolina Foothills? Because he had signed up to be up here, but I haven't heard anything from him. And I don't know if Steve ever heard anything from him. I think it was Steve that was reaching out to him last night. I don't know if we ever heard anything from him. So I was just worried and wondering what was going on, if anybody had any update on him. But yeah, that first live stream, well, I mean, it wasn't my first, but it was the first one that JD did. And yeah, and then, of course, Sparky's famous line, look at Ray over there being all prim and proper. That ain't going to last long. Because I had on the collared shirt and everything else. And everything. Trying to be as discreet as possible. Didn't work. That was still a blast, though. Nobody saw that coming.
No.
The three of us putting those bridges together, nobody.
Well, what was fun about doing those bridges was the sessions that we had off camera with each other. And it was only meant to be a few minutes, and it turned into an hour and a half, 2 hours. You know, these guys are on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, you know. And of course, I'm doing the blinds. Or hey, it's still bright out here.
Hey, meanwhile, it's midnight here, and Rick and I are like, I got to go to work tomorrow morning. We got to go to bed, man. That and the fact that I go to bed and the freaking phone starts that ding,
Oh, yeah.
ding, and the Dawn goes smack. The heck is going on over there? I said, it's just the bridge, guys. Let me go ahead and shut this off.
Just being Rick.
Rick and JD are going back and forth. Bob was saying it sounds like one of his live streams now.
That was a true example of no hope that night. At all.
Oh man, but yeah, those I think to be honest, those streams that me and him did from the time that we started to the time that we actually started posting them, those I wish I should have saved some of it, because some of the freaking conversations that we had. You talk about getting derailed and sidetracked.
I'll have to go back and look. I think I have some of those on private on my.
Okay. I may still have some. I may still have some of them on the private side too. I don't know if they're. I don't know. They may or they may not be there.
Yeah.
Put them
Right.
together and put them out as a CD.
Well,
Then we can all buy one.
1995.
freaking make sure that we put mature adult audiences only.
Yeah.
Content may not be.
This content is triple X-rated.
Is advised.
It's just like Anthony Dodge's live streams where he goes ahead and puts up there, this isn't suitable for anybody under the age of 16. In fact, it's probably not suitable for most people.
Or anybody.
Yeah. That's still a great line. I love those openings to his live streams. Those are great. Not suitable for anybody under the age of 16. Come to think of it. Oh my goodness, what's going
Put
on?
up there, you've been warned. Once you get into this live stream,
Yeah, train wrecks. Yeah, that was this live stream for sure. There, since 2020, I can think of quite a few live streams that have been train wrecks like 10 minutes after they got started. Most of them mine.
right when
Yeah.
it started.
Yeah, some of them didn't even get started. Oh, I remember fighting with a setup down here one night. I said, I'm going to go live at like 8 o'clock. I don't think I went live until almost 8:45 because everything it wasn't playing nice. Oh, man. And then, of course, there was the one night that I was trying to be serious and everybody's in there trying to crack jokes. And I'm like, guys, wait, time out, hold on.
Well, you do have a hard audience.
Yeah. I've got a very loyal audience, too.
Yes.
I will
We
say
just know the right things that sidetrack you.
What happens when we press this button?
The dam gets done. No, wait.
Dream on, Alice. Just around the corner.
Damn.
Mm.
That would make a damn good shirt.
The damn.
Damn.
Oh, damn.
I'll be damned.
Yeah, the damn shirt. You can post it.
Right?
Oh yeah. Like the other year when Steve was here and I didn't warn them about the tap down here and he got sprayed.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I was saying last night, beware of the sink in here.
Oh, yeah.
And make sure you turn it on slow because the water comes out of there in a hurry. And he didn't know that. He went ahead and turned that sucker on. He came out and he was soaked.
I had to remind myself, do not turn it. Because I started doing it. I was like, wait.
Oh my gosh, that was hilarious. And of course, then she went ahead and made things even worse with the dogs, but that we won't go with that one. Woof woof.
No, keep the dog out of this.
Dog, it wasn't just one. Don't go there. Already done, Tammy. Sorry. Oh my gosh, there have been some really funny moments in this baby. That's for damn sure. Between that and the some of the conversations, it just
We should have live streamed last night.
it,
We should have live streamed last night.
we probably should have.
Yeah, all you would have had to do is just turn the camera on. Whatever was going on, you'd heard all kinds of.
Dave was just saying, wasn't going to mention the dog videos. Woof woof.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Never a dull moment with you, Ray.
It's never a dull moment in this community. Are you kidding?
Hey, you up there with Sparky?
Hey, wait a minute. Well, that's actually pretty good company to be in, I think. I'm not
No,
sure.
it's not. He's not here to defend himself.
Is that kind of a backhanded compliment?
I'm sure I'll feel it the next time I see it. What the hell were you thinking? At this point, Ed, who knows?
Who knows?
Well, it can't go too long, so we got
Yeah, I was going to say you guys got an early car ride to get out of here.
I'm waking their ass up about 5 o'clock.
What about the rest of them?
That's up to them to get the rest of it.
Right.
Ray, when are you starting your upper level?
When the dam's done.
Damn.
Actually, JP, that's been in progress now for about a month, I guess, is when I started painting the backdrop and getting the scenery done up there. So I'm already across the dam and onto the south side. Now I'm down to the corner, and that's going to take a little bit more doing. I'm probably going to start that here shortly because there's a couple of things that and I've talked about this in the past, but one of the reasons why, and you didn't ask this question, so I'll answer it before you ask it. The reason why I haven't had anybody over here to do operation sessions on the railroad is the fact that there is a curved turnout on the southbound passenger run. In other words, once you get underneath the city of Beauville, that has a dead spot in it. And the only way to get past the dead spot is to literally reach your hand up underneath the city and push the train past it. So that was another motivation that I had to get the scenery done on the upper level or the interurban, at least this portion of it, so that I could get into uptown Beauville to start working on it, so that I could go ahead to the backside of, or what would be downtown Beauville to work on that. I have to take that apart to be able to get to the that bad switch. Now, hindsight being what it is, there's another minor problem, and that is the fact that yours truly went ahead and put the second deck on, and then behind that decided, you know what, now would be a good time to put up a backdrop.
Wow.
The problem is when yours truly turned around and decided to put said backdrop on top of Beauville, he made a calculated error. And that is the fact that the spot that actually goes over top of that switch actually goes under the backdrop that divides Beauville. So I have to take the backdrop off the layout to be able to get to that piece of wood to be able to get to the switch. When I put it back together, it ain't going back together that way. That section's going to get cut in half, so that way it'll be two pieces and not just one. But it was just a bit. I didn't think about it, and then after I put everything up there and put the phone down, I'm like, hey, idiot. This ain't going to work. And of course, I find it when the damn switch goes bad.
So that in the river, you have to fix.
Yeah. So the river scene, which is over Joe and Jack's shoulder over here. Joe and I have talked about this a couple of times. There's actually supposed to be a depression there. It's actually depressed me, but that's beside the point. Another one of these oops was when I put those 5 foot by 3 foot or 4 foot sections together. I didn't think about the fact that the 2x4s that would be on the outer portion should have covered the butt end of the other. They're backwards. So they're actually screwed in to the point that you can't get to the screws. So there's two ways to fix that. One of them would be to go ahead and tear the layout apart and shift it out far enough that you could pull the screws back out, or come down here with a sawzall and cut the screws.
Cut the screws.
So the better part of valor here is saying, you know what? We're going to come down here with a metal saw blade and we're going to cut the freaking screws.
And all else fails, get the sawzall.
That don't work. Get a bigger hammer.
Yeah. That was one of the things that we used to say when I was aboard ship. We used to have a 10-pound maul that sat next to the controls for the sonar system. when I first got aboard ship, I looked at them like, the heck is that for? They was like, that's when it stops working. I'm like, you can't be serious. No, we're not serious. That's if we have to abandon ship. We beat the living heck out of the equipment before we leave. Okay, all right. Who's the asshole that's going to sit behind and start beating the living crap out of everything?
Oh, you're the newest guy.
Hey, you're the newest guy. Guess what?
Yeah, what is it they say? Shit rolls down.
Hell. Oh man. JP saying it's a permanent layout. No need to access the screws until it's scrapped. Thanks, JP. Appreciate that. Yeah, what I've been thinking about that is what I'm going to do is I am going to come down here with the sawzall, cut the 4 screws on either side. And then since the Craig jig worked out so well when I built the desk, I'm going to take a 2x2, and that's going to be the new base. And I'm going to Craig jig that into the sides from underneath.
Nice.
So that way it's got some stability, because unfortunately that's going to be somewhat structural over there.
No.
You know, that's those 2x4s are holding everything up. It's either that or the other way I could go is I could actually go ahead and screw them up from underneath.
Well, we could always drill a couple of eye bolts at the top of it and just tie it into the ceiling. I mean, you know, everybody thought your poles were so great. The green poles, yeah, you know, we can just tie it into the ceiling, run a couple of.
So anyway,
Oh, what happened to the guests?
and the wife's sitting upstairs going, "What in the hell are they talking about now?"
Who did I let in my house? What are they doing to my husband?
Apparently somebody asked her last night before she left, how do you do it? How do you put up with it? I don't know who it was.
Wasn't me.
Not me.
All right, so I got 3 people pleading the 5th.
Make that 4. I was just a guest.
I don't care. I think it was funny. She thought it was funny. How do you put up with him? I don't know. Hell, I don't know how I put up with me.
Hot Rod just popped in.
Huh?
Hot Rod just popped
Hey,
in.
Rodney.
Rodney.
Long time no see. Oh man. But at any rate, oh. So yeah, I mean like I said, the last 48 hours were definitely a blast. It's great to be able to hang out and chit chat and see something new. What did you guys think of the Streetcar Museum?
I loved it.
Oh, that was great.
That was a good time.
Very good. And learning the history.
Learn some stuff.
Yeah. The model railroader actually had a part that they did with the grandson of the fellow that owned St. Louis Car Company.
Mhm.
Oh, really?
And of course, when they did the interview with him, it was like, well, like I said, it was in the mid or late 90s, and this guy is like in his 80s.
Yeah.
But he says, you know, it was like they were talking about down there at the Streetcar Museum, that Cadillac or the Lincoln, whatever you wanted to call it, that was the be all end all. That was the thing that carried streetcars till the bitter end. In fact, like he said, they used them up into the 2000s, which to me was incredible.
Yeah.
The
They still
longevity,
are.
yeah, the longevity of that thing.
Well, yeah, he said that one was built when 48.
Yeah,
47.
47, I think.
47.
Yeah, 47.
1940s, the one PCC
Cadillac
car.
on rails.
Yeah.
That's what I called it.
And the museum bought that for $200.
Yeah.
Yeah, the parts was a different story.
They said restoration on that was I think he said well over $200 grand for restoring it. And of course, all the parts they have to make themselves. You can't buy parts for it anymore.
No.
Either make them or
Cannibalize them off of something else.
Yep. But I'm really interested to see what happens with the old Maryland and Pennsylvania roundhouse when they finally get that
they
done.
could do that. That would be fantastic.
It would be, because now you're saving 2 pieces of Baltimore and Maryland history in one spot.
Because what's going to be interesting too There's no turntable there anymore.
Nope.
There's no tracks there anymore.
Nope.
So they're going to have to run tracks from the streetcar tracks that they've got now into the roundhouse
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
because they want to bring all these cars
They want to
in.
bring
for
all the cars
all
in.
the,
Park them
all the
inside,
storage
yeah.
stuff and park them inside. You got to get them in there somehow.
Or are they gonna, it's gonna lift them on a trailer and?
Yeah, they could do that too.
could be.
Just put
But I don't think
tracks
they
on
want
it.
to do that because they want to have access to the rail
Yep.
to run them.
Right.
Eventually, yeah.
I mean, the one that they was talking about that's gutted in the back, that looked like it's been through hell, that he said they can't restore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just gonna put it in one of the slots.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that 155-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 155. Yeah.
Yeah. The one that looks like it's
horse-drawn.
yeah.
The one that they had they found it in a chicken coop. They
Yeah,
yeah.
that's the chicken coop.
One was it was being used as a chicken coop.
I was
Yeah,
like,
what I remember, I think it was Chris that told me they've already taken steps to preserve it. In other words, they put oils and things of that on it to keep it from falling apart, deteriorating even more. But there isn't much more that they can do
Can't
with
do
it. It's too far gone, which is a shame. But having it in their shed right now, and if they get once they get the roundhouse, being able to move it someplace else that's going to be climate controlled, and they'll be able to take better care of it. You know,
You have to
because
put it in some type of seal.
yeah,
Keep it sealed so air won't get to it.
but yeah, I mean,
But the
it's
one that he was talking about that's up in Maine that they trying to get back. How
that's
you gonna give something and then you want it back? Because they don't want to give it back, but they say
Well,
that one is already in a
That
bad
happens all
spot.
the time. You'd be surprised how much horse trading goes on between these museums and
Yeah.
stuff
Yeah.
for their stuff.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know.
We know we gave you this 50 years ago. We'd like to have it
They
back.
said
We got a spot for it now. We'd like to have it back.
But they said it's just sitting up there
Well, they
deteriorating.
said it's not.
Yeah.
It's not in very good
Not in
shape.
very
So,
good
you know,
shape.
But they want to try to restore it.
yeah.
You know.
Yeah. And again, I mean, it's just like, you know, years ago with the Burlington Zephyr,
Mhm.
where it had been sitting outside in Chicago and that weather. I don't know. First off, you've got a historical piece like that broke a rail speed record. Why are you storing it outside? In Chicago.
Yeah, no less.
Yeah.
It should be in Arizona or New Mexico.
Mexico.
And
And
only
they,
just get sunlight.
yeah, and they went ahead and they sent it out to, what the heck was the name of the company? Actually, I think, well, it's a restoration company out in the Midwest someplace. And they restored it. And then once they had to trailer it out there. They couldn't rail it out. They had to take the trucks off of it, put it on the low boy trailers and truck it out there. And then they rebuilt it. And then they had to take the trucks back off of it and put it back on the low boys to ship it back to Chicago.
Yeah.
This is the part that got me. It is now in the basement of the Museum of Industry in Chicago,
It should have been there in the first
which is what thank
It should have been
you.
there in the first place.
The
Either
crane.
there or the Smithsonian.
Yeah, the crane that picked that sucker up to put it 20 floors into the ground was insane. And it wasn't one. It was what was it, 3 or 4 cars? Anybody familiar with the Burlington Zephyr? Because I'm not. That's not something I model. But yeah, I mean,
where's Steve Childers?
yeah, well, he's in bed. Retirement Railroad's already retired.
Yeah, he would be the one to have the information on
Yeah,
that.
he would be the one to ask. But yeah, they picked that sucker up and put it in the basement, and they were putting it in blind. I mean, literally, the crane operator couldn't see once it got into the hole. He had no idea where it was headed. They were on radios and communicating, and then they were sitting down. There was like 6 or 8 guys guiding it so that it would line up on the trucks. So that way they hit it, and then they would move that one out of the way. Then they put the second car down, and they moved that one, put the third car, and then they put the fourth one. But yeah, I would agree with that. That was a unique technological breakthrough. That Zephyr, that was a absolutely unique piece of gear. Absolutely, I will give you that, Bob. Yeah, they took the roof off, all right. Whew. Now, I just can't imagine being the project manager. Oh, yeah, we're just going to pick this thing up off the trailer. Go ahead and put it in the hole. Right. You know, any gust of wind comes along and here this thing starts taking off like a helicopter. It's like, yeah, no, that's okay. I don't want to be the project manager on this. But yeah, I mean, and that's what we were talking about earlier too with the Freedom Train, the steam locomotive that the B&O Railroad Museum. Ron Montague is saying he believes it's 5 cars. I knew it was at least 3 or 4. I wasn't sure if it was 5.
It's a whole set.
It's a set.
It's a set.
It was a set. Yeah, the locomotive had the front truck, and then the rear truck was shared between it and the first car.
Okay.
And then on back, so it was an accordion. It was a matched set. You didn't break that up.
You couldn't, because each car only was using half of a truck.
Yeah.
And then the car behind you used the other half of the truck.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of like some of the old well cars and stuff.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
rail cars that you see now. It's
Yeah.
about the same setup.
Yeah. But yeah, I just can't imagine. Well, we went ahead and went over. We were talking about the Freedom Train, which that's getting a cosmetic restoration for next year down at the B&O Railroad Museum. And the unfortunate thing for that, and I could remember when Ron and I were down there with Tom Kvichak and Rick Bailey, and who the heck else was down there at that time? There was a couple other folks. That was another October show. We did the show on Saturday and then went down to the Railroad Museum on Sunday. And the Freedom Train was sitting outside in the yard. And
where it's been sitting for many, many moons.
Yeah, Joe and I were talking. It's been sitting outside for at least 25 years.
But they're going to try to restore it.
They were cosmetic.
Restoration.
Cosmetic restoration.
Yeah, they figured. If I'm not.
Hard.
Yeah, if I remember hearing correctly, originally they had the thoughts they were going to move it into the shop and do a full restoration and actually get her to steam up. The problem was once they got it into the shop, they realized there was no recovery for the boiler. Yeah, the boiler is shot.
From what I understand on the B&O's website, I get updates every once in a while on what's going on. They said that the tender is ready for primer. They had the tender all sanded, sandblasted, and holes and all that kind of mess, rust holes and all have all been filled in, and it's ready for primer paint.
But they couldn't restore the boiler or take out the boiler and put in another one.
Not unless you got a couple $1 million you'd like to throw at the project.
Kind of like the the Streetcar Museum. Yeah,
18 to 37 million.
Yeah.
Whip out your checkbook there, Jack.
The Streetcar Museum, that's a pretty aggressive to think they're going to have it done in 5 years.
Yeah, they want to have that done in 5 years.
How much is the city is donating?
The city has already donated. I think it's close to $500,000. They're donating the property. They're donating the property, and they've already set up to have it put on the Federal Registry of Historical Sites.
So they get federal funding.
So they're going to get possible federal funding for it. Obviously, right now that's not going to happen. But the thing is, one of the things that does resonate, at least around here, and it was one of the things that I think Joe and I were talking about, with this being the birthplace of American railroading. The B&O was the parent. It was the very beginning. There is a lot of railroad history around here. There's a lot of railroad history buffs around here. There's a lot of corporations that had ties either to it then or have ties to it now.
Yeah.
Which means that if they pull this off, there is the possibility that they can see an influx of some corporate funding, which would be huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
I can see it happening. I think everybody's kind of waiting, which is one of the reasons why I think it's taken them a year to get to this point of actually convincing the city of Baltimore to turn it over to the Streetcar Museum.
Mm-hmm.
First off, for the city to give them some money to go ahead and actually fix the freaking thing.
Get started on it.
And then, of course, the city then decided, you know what, we're going to turn around and we're going to get the paperwork rolling to get it on the historical side, get it onto the historical registry.
I feel that since the city didn't keep it up like they were supposed to,
They should do,
they should do more.
Well, but we're talking.
Giving them the land and
Yeah.
the small funding. Yeah, but I mean,
The thing of it is that, well, you Baltimore, well, I'm not going to go there.
right now.
Yeah, I've lived here long enough to
Let's
know.
Stay out of the politics. That's where that's
That's
it.
where
Yeah, it's yeah, no. I've had enough dealings with Baltimore City. I'd rather not. No, it's a shame. I mean, with all the historical stuff that is in this city, because it is a very old city. It's one of the first cities.
Mhm.
There's a lot of industry that was born here that is still parts of it is you can drive down any of the streets in downtown Baltimore and see it. We were talking about the Bromo Seltzer Tower. There's the shot tower where they used to make shot for the guns.
Mhm.
There is God knows how many mills, textile mills, that are, the buildings are still there. There's something else now, but back in the day, that was what they did. I mean, they are all over the place and they're near rivers. Why?
Mhm.
Because the rivers were the only way to supply power.
Yeah.
That was all it was all water wheel.
Didn't they have a coal shipped in by
They had,
ferry?
yep, they had coal that came in by ferry. And then, of course, when the coal boom happened out in Western Maryland, they're like, oh, we can get our coal out there and up in Pennsylvania. And they started trying, once the railroads got going, well, that's where that coal came from.
Right.
There used to be one heck of a steel mill in downtown Baltimore. It was Beth Steel,
Mhm.
Bethlehem Steel Company. That was a huge property. They built ships for World War I and World War II. The Liberty ships, if you ever heard of it, the most of those came out of that shipyard. They came out of that shipyard. So there, like I said, there's just a lot of history here.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not taking anything away from any of the other towns or any of the other cities up and down the East Coast, Boston, Philadelphia. They've all got their own bits and pieces of that because guess what? They were on the water as well. They had a hand in a lot of that too.
Baltimore was the mecca.
But Baltimore is where it started. Yeah. And you're right, Alan. There are a bunch of textile mills, at least the buildings that are still standing down here. Yeah, the old brick buildings.
The old stone buildings.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, tons of those.
Question for you: do you know why the
But
B&O
also,
colors are
Baltimore
blue?
Kids are based their ideas out of Baltimore.
Lifelike.
Lifelike.
The original Lifelike
Yeah.
company.
Yep, that's where they came from. Do you know why the colors of the B&O are blue and gray?
Because we were a neutral state during the Civil War.
Mm.
Yep.
And that's why they went with blue and gray. Originally, that color was called Yankee Blue and Rebel Gray.
There you go.
There you go.
I knew it had something to do with the Civil War, but I wasn't 100% certain, Martin. But there you go.
Maryland was a neutral state during the war.
And to go a little bit further with that, if you look at the state, I think it's the, you know, my brain is dead tonight. The state flag, it's blue, it's black and gold, and then red, and it has the black and gold on one side, and a red and white cross on the other side. The reason why it's done like that, again, went back to the wars. There was one part that was loyal to the old Lord Baltimore. His coat of arms was black and gold. And then you had the other side, which was loyal to Lord Calvert. Lord Calvert's coat of arms were red and white. And when the Revolutionary War happened and they figured out that they needed to combine, that's how the Maryland state flag was born. They combined it to try and create unity between the two sides because we were fighting the common enemy in the British. So, yeah, that's just another one of those neat little tidbits that'll show up on Final Jeopardy one of these days. Night, Alan. Have a good one, buddy. It was good to see you.
Mason.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you, Alan.
Oh.
Later, John.
I think he got more video of everybody.
Yeah, he got the
I
most.
think Alan
You'll have to
did.
keep an eye on Alan over there, the Mason Dixon. He took quite a bit of rail fanning video this afternoon of us on the streetcars, specifically the PCC car from Philadelphia. I'm sure that rang real well with Ron, being he's up there in Philadelphia. I'm sure he was quite familiar with that.
Oh, he was.
Yeah.
He was. He can tell you every streetcar, and I'm like, I should be just asking you questions. I mean, seriously, he knows the history.
I still think the other thing was on that first open air car when we got to the end of the line and they were talking about we can't take it around the loop because it puts too much stress on the car. And it's like, well, it's only got 4 wheels. What are you talking about?
That's what I was trying to figure out. How in the world are you going to say it has stress on the wheels? They're too far apart for there to be stress.
Well, it's not so much that. It's not so much the stress on the wheels. It's the stress on the frame and the wood.
Ah, that's right. That's right.
On the wood.
Because it's going up and down,
Yeah.
but it doesn't sway.
It doesn't make those corners are really tight.
What was the radius of that right there? Like
He
an
didn't tell us.
He didn't know off the top of his head. He said he could look it up, but he didn't know it off the top of his
Yeah.
head.
I thought it was like I wanted to say 15, but that ain't a 15.
No.
Like a 10
Yep, that's a
or
lot
8.
smaller than 15 inch or 15 degree.
And what was funny is of course they take you up to the one end of the line. And you're supposed to loop around, come back. Well, with the open air cars, the older ones that are wood, they can't take them around the loop because it puts too much lateral stress on the car. So what they do is what they would have done back in the day. They take you up to the end of the line. The conductor gets off the car, takes the pole down, swings it around to the opposite end of the car, and hooks it back up to the live wire. That's number one.
Guys,
Normally,
just create mini-me's of Ron, JD, and our group shot today for more printing to come. Tom is on it, man.
How many has he done so far?
But anyway,
However many was in that group, so that means Barbara's going to be busy. The next couple days.
the other part of it is he was telling us. Of course, we all had to get up out of the seats to flip the backs over, to flip the seats. He said normally there wouldn't be passengers on the streetcar. We would just do it ourselves. But since you are there, we're not going to make you get off and get back on. So they took the first seat, moved that one, and then just kind of dominoed it. But yeah, that was fun. That was neat.
Totally fun.
That was, and those.
How many times have you been there before?
I was there twice before. Once as an actual motorman for a day. I got to drive. Yeah. The one thing that kind of got me with the day is that they only had 2 of the streetcars out, and I kind of understand why. And he explained it when we were walking through the shop. During the summertime, they're open both on Saturday and Sunday. And they have a lot of people that rotate through that museum on Saturdays and Sundays. They also do groups. They also do weddings. They've got the one special trolley that they do weddings on. That 417, that green one was all the way to the right.
Yeah.
With the blue seats,
Yeah.
that's the wedding car.
Oh.
Now, the funniest thing of it is one of the guys that's down there is a certified or is a pastor or a father. So he can actually, he's an ordained, so he can actually do the sermon or the service right there on the grounds. And they've done that. In fact, I've got his book over on the shelf because when my daughter won the thing for me to be a motorman of the day, I got like 3 books from them, a streetcar, an O scale, and what the heck else was? I got a whole bunch of different little memorabilia too.
Mm-hmm.
But to go down there and, well, what I was getting at is they run the heck out of those streetcars during the summer. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that they don't have right now is a backup to any one machine.
Oh, okay.
So, the PCC car, the one that we rode today, is really right now the only operating PCC car that they have. They will have a second one, that one that was in the back, the blue and the gray one for the Baltimore, That's getting close, but that's the only one they've got. When you get into the old wooden ones, those are few and far between. That's the only example that they've got. And every time you run that, you're taking a little bit more out of it. Taking a little more out of it. And as we were talking about, finding people to be able to go in there and build the gears, build the axles, be able to do all the maintenance on them, you know, be able to rewind the motor. There aren't too many people out there anymore that can rewind a DC motor. Although I know Harrison's done one or two, but that's on a much bigger, this is on a much bigger scale,
level, yeah.
you know, or actually even run over classic model trains.
You got Canada, James is what Dundas.
Oh,
That was his job, was rewiring
all right.
gigantic electric
Motors.
But
Take it easy, JP.
you'd have a hard time getting him down here to help out.
Yeah. Philadelphia still has about 8 in service and 15 in service on the Route 15. Wow. See, there you go. These damn things were built back in the 40s and they're still freaking running.
Yeah.
Then again, just like I've talked about in the past, even with our model railroads and anything really that's mechanical, if you take care of it, it will take care of you. The biggest issue that any of these museums have, and it's one of the things after I got to do that experience of being a motorman down there for the day, this is living history. And the problem is there's nobody to replace the old guard. There's nobody out there right now in the younger generation that wants to do steam fitting, pipe fitting, things of that nature. People want to go out and rewind motors. You know, the electricians. Yeah, the electricians, okay, yeah, you might be able to, you're going to be able to find, but they're not going to be able to rewind an electric motor. You know, they had a heck of a time, and I was telling the group about this afternoon. Years ago, right over top of the streetcar run is a active CSX line. In fact, I got 2 of the trains today that ran over there. The thing is, I think it was back in 2017, 18, 19, somewhere in that time frame, one of them derailed. And when it derailed, it came off the bridge and landed on the powerhouse, which is where they take the 200 and some odd volt AC and convert it down or convert it over to, I think it's 600 volts DC. Or 60 volts DC. It's something, it's some ridiculous. I don't remember. I can look it up in the books. But anyway, you know, it took them a while. I think Chris had told me, I think it was like 3 or 6 months before they actually got the power back up because it took them a while to be able to find people that would work on the transformers. You know, that's another problem that you got with when you're running electric. Where do you find people to work on the electrical systems? Not so much the motors, just the electrical systems. But yeah, I mean, it's a darn shame. Yeah, you can find woodworkers, you can find some electricians to do some of that stuff. You can find metal workers, you can find painters. You know, find somebody from an auto body shop. I'm sure they'd be more than happy to come down there with an air compressor and their spray gun and paint the thing for you. It's going to cost you. But you know, to get it done professionally. And these places run on volunteers. The 2 guys, the conductor and the brakeman, or the motorman that were on our that were doing the tours today, they're both volunteers, and the dispatcher as well. The fellow with the glasses that was in the he's a volunteer too. He's been there a long time. But you know, it's just one of those things you hate to see history go away. And it's unfortunate. It's going to if we don't take and try to get the younger generations interested in doing some of this stuff. And it's the same thing even with the hobby. You know, we've all talked about that in the past. You go to a train show and the demographic is basically 40 plus. You see very few people under 30 or under 20.
Well, see, that's why I put Wi-Fi tracks on, so Jackson can come in with his iPad
Run
and run
train.
trains.
Yep.
That's how you do it.
Yep.
And
Saw them
Kimberly hasn't been out here to use the Wi-Fi tracks it, but when I went out there this summer for her graduation from 8th grade, I had her put the app on her phone, so when she's out here in December, she's going to be able to run trains off her phone.
Yep.
You know, and then she can go back to California and say, "Hey, I was doing this with my grandpa, and we're running trains on the phone." You know?
Yeah, and it's the same thing. You know, Rachel was down here for a while. Well, not down here, but when we were over at the other house, she was helping me run the railroad. She would come down from time to time and help me because her and I, the 13-foot by 11, her and I built that. You know, and she had an affinity for it, and then studies got in the way.
Mm.
And then college got in the way, and now it's the boyfriend.
Boys getting in the way.
But you know, she knows that
It'll
she
come full circle, and you'll have grandkids, and that'll be.
She knows, and even he knows. I mean, when he first met her, when he first came over here to meet us, and he came down here and he looked at this and he's like, "Okay," and you know, it's one of those things. Like I said, I mean, Rachel sat down here the other week's help after she helped me get stuff down here for the party, and she's looking at it going, "Dad, you did a heck of a job with the trees." And then she started asking questions that I hadn't thought about, and I'm like, "Huh, all right, yeah, that's an idea."
Well, yeah, you had another pair of eyes that's not looking at it all the time.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
yeah, they bring new light to what you're looking at all the time. Like, wow,
Yeah.
Nothing
why
better than
don't-
a fresh
why don't
pair
you
of
do
eyes.
this? Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, trust me, even the wife's come down here from time to time. I've asked her opinion on certain things just because I'll get into a writer's block. I'm like, "What do you think?" "Well, what if you did this? Let me see." "Okay, yeah, that'll work."
That works.
And it,
Yeah. It's amazing. It's like, you know, like I said, it's just a fresh set of eyes.
Mhm.
You know, and we were talking about this down at the Streetcar Museum this afternoon where, who was it that said that they were in a rut for a while? But that was, yeah, in a funk. Because of the fact that, you know, I said the same thing. I come down here some days, and of course I work down here, and I have to be right next to it. And it's like, I come down here and I'm like, "I got to work on this tonight. I've got to work on this tonight." I come down after dinner, look at it, go, "Yeah, not tonight."
sometimes, some nights you just gotta motivate yourself to try.
Yeah.
And sometimes you're gonna say, "No,
Yeah.
Not going to do it.
you're not gonna do it."
And that was, I think, one of the things that kind of burned, but that kind of hurt me a little bit because of the fact that while I was working on the scenery, I couldn't run the trains.
Mm-hmm.
That was the killer. As soon as that bridge got put back in, I'm like, great, now I can run trains again.
Yeah.
Because that's what I enjoy. I'm not a scenery person by any stretch of the imagination. I'll take that maybe 50-50. I love detailing stuff, the scene itself. You know, I've got the unfinished houses, and years ago I found a guy that was with a hammer in his hand. And I sat there and we were putting stuff together for Christmas one year, and I went ahead and stuck him on that floor, and my dad was like, "What are you doing over there?" And I had the two guys working on the upper floor of that unfinished house, and he's looking at me going, "I would have never thought to do that. That's a heck of an idea." And it became one of those little, you know, nuanced things that, hey, take a look and see if you can find something that, and, you know, you get people that are, you know, trying to find that one little detail. And it was.
Well,
Yeah, like
I had
those
people
flying
yesterday looking for the flying pigs. I have two flying
When he
pigs.
told me about the flying pigs, I was like, "What are you talking about, flying pigs?" And I look over there in the corner, there's a flying pig. I'm like, "What?" That has nothing to do with this railroad. But then when he told the story, okay, I'm done.
Yeah.
But I think the number one thing about trying to get out of a funk is when I want to come play on your layout. Okay, I got to push myself.
And now I got to get it done.
And
Yep.
get it done.
Yep.
So
And that was the motivation for wanting to get the scenery done. I wanted to get water on the dam scene. I wanted to do that. I couldn't find what I was looking for to accomplish it. And I know Tom and somebody else had talked about going over to Amazon and finding the woodland scenic stuff, which is what I want to do. There's some other prep work that I have to do over there yet. And when I realized how close the time was getting, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to get that done before the show. If I get the backdrop and the grass down, that's going to have to suffice. And to get it to the point that I got it before the show hit, I'll take that as a win. There's still a lot of work to be done on this railroad. Absolutely.
I guarantee you're going to be, you ask yourself, why didn't I do this a long time ago?
Yeah.
I got to the point and say, don't do that.
Yeah.
You on your own time.
Well,
if you got an event coming, they'll understand.
Yeah.
If they don't, oh well.
But the thing of it was I wanted that because here's the thing. I don't know if you caught it back in the day or not. When I first started doing scenery, and of course the sidetrack, some of you guys know what I'm talking about. I started doing downtown Beauville, which is on the other side of the backdrop.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side of the back, nobody's going to freaking see that when they come down the steps. Mm-hmm. It's on the opposite side of the back. And I'm like, why am I over here wasting my time putting scenery where nobody's going to freaking see it?
Because it's a learning experience.
So that's when I shifted gears and came over here and then realized once I cut over here, I'm like, well, we've got a different problem. I've got 2 tracks going across this ditch and I've only got a single track bridge. And then that's when Paul from the Union Central system said, well, wait a minute. He was in one of the live streams. I haven't seen him in a long time. He said, hey, look, because I had an issue with my kit, I've actually got the deck for another I think it was a 1903 or 1905, whatever the number are, of the Central Valley bridge. He said, it's the girders and the ties. He says, I used the top, he says, because I needed that portion. I didn't need the deck, but they sent me a whole kit. He says, and I've got no use for it. Do you want it? And I'm like, well, sure. Send me what you got. So he sent me all his spare parts. And of course, when I get it, it was like the first bridge that you put together. Mm. And I'm looking at it going, this is a lot different than the one that I put together because it had the square. I think it was. Yeah. They had the X's in it instead of the ovals.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so that didn't really help me out a whole lot. But again, I was able to take part of what Tony Custer did years ago with that bridge that he put across that lift out section by putting that U channel in up underneath. I'm like, yeah, this is going to hold up a heck of a lot better than the metal that they sent with the stuff that they sent with the bridge would have worked just fine. If you weren't trying to run a 1970s, almost 1 pound die-cast steam locomotive across it. Most of our equipment, would have ran across it no problem. You put that sucker across, and you could see that thing bend.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, yeah, no. That's when I went ahead and put the U channel in. But that bridge, that's still a focal point. And that whole scene is a focal point. It will be. But, it was this thing. I knew that this was going to be an undertaking when we bought the house. And when I came down here and started putting it together, and I'll never forget Barry. No, it wasn't Barry. It was Big Bill, reminding me that it is a marathon and not a sprint. Mm-hmm. Stop pushing so damn hard to get things done. But the thing of it is the problem was because I had a railroad that was semi-modular that I could take apart and reuse, things started falling into place a lot faster because I had everything already there. And it's like, you know what? This is all right. Then I could see the light at the end of the tunnel. And then all of a sudden that light got a lot smaller. And it's like, I wanted trains running by Christmas. Well, I had them running on the table. I actually had them running by New Year's that year. Granted, the tracks were all loose. They were just on the plywood. But I had, damn if I didn't have a locomotive running across this thing. And it just evolved from that point. But, yeah, and we were talking about it, too. I don't edit my videos. What you see is what you get.
The artisticity.
You're going to see where I make the mistakes, and I'm going to say, hey, don't do that. Hey, this worked out great. Give it a shot. That didn't. Don't do that. you know. But yeah, it's the thing. But when you start to see progress, you're like, ooh, and you keep pushing,
Mhm.
and then all of a sudden you get that writer's block, and you're like, I don't feel like screwing with this tonight.
Yep. Walk away.
And that you just got to. You've got to. Or if
Or
you're
even if you get frustrated, walk away.
gonna,
You know, because if you don't, you know damn good and well, something
You're
you're
gonna
gonna
break
bust
something.
something.
I think the funny, you bring that up, but I think the funniest thing, God rest his soul, was my dad. In 1976, my middle brother was born, and my grandmother thought that it would be a great idea to buy him a bicentennial train for his birthday. Okay. So she bought it in 77. Now, if anybody is familiar with the old 460 that Tyco had, the wood burner, if anybody has had the unfortunate experience of messing with one of those things, and I say the unfortunate experience because it is a POS. It is probably, I'm going to say it, there's other people who say, oh no, that was a great look. In my eyes, I've had two of them, and both of them were the biggest pieces of crap. To the point where, here it is, my dad had his layout, which had 18-inch radius, which it was designed to run on. That's what came with the set. It was 18-inch radius. We put it on the dining room table over at my grandmother's house, and that sucker just ran around. No problem. We take it home. That Christmas, we put it on his part of the layout, which was a 4x8, which had the 18-inch radius. Ran across that, no problem. Go ahead and put that onto the one that he built for me, which had 18-inch radius. The far back corner would jump every stinking time. He sat back there with a level. He did all sorts of things, tweaking, replacing rails, everything else. That sucker would not run across that corner. To the point where I can vividly remember that thing flying across the room at one point.
No, not a Hurricane Vinny. I saw him launch a couple of N-scale cars one time.
Oh,
At least he didn't put a hammer to it.
yeah, but
Well, when they hit the wall, they kind of scattered a little bit.
The wall is the hammer.
yeah, but it got to the point where if we were going to run it, we only ran it on his layout, on his portion of the pike. We wouldn't even switch it to the other side. And then, of course, later on, we actually found a little tea kettle lifelike locomotive that was painted up for the 76, and we used that to pull the cars because that pulled them no problem. It was like, okay. But fast forward, that actually belonged to my brother. So when he moved out, I gave it to him. When I got into the sets, I gave that back to him because I was like, this is yours. It's not mine. It was given to you. It's yours. To which I've always kind of second guessed myself on that, but that's another story for another time. So fast forward a little bit, I'm on eBay and I find somebody that is selling the same set. Or at least I thought it was the same set. Turns out it wasn't. It came with two combines and a coach. His set was two coaches with a combine with the 460. And I'm like, okay, great. So now we've got another one. And this is the point that I still had the two 4x8s and the 2x5 with that same corner. Wouldn't you know that son of a gun jumped in that same stinking corner? That same, yes.
So it's not the engine, it's the rail.
It went through and checked the rail gauge, checked the level, checked everything again. Rail joints, the whole 9 yards.
It can't be the engine. It just can't be the engine.
I'm telling you, it jumped in the same stinking spot. So I'm like, all right, fine. So
Is there a bent in the rail? Did you check to see if there was a slight bent?
I replaced the rails. I replaced the track. To check the track, I replaced it. It's almost like there was something in the wood. And it gets better. So I build the 13-foot by 11-foot layout, which has got 18 and 22-inch radius on it.
Mm-hmm.
Run it across the 18, it won't run across the 18. It jumps on every corner. Everything else runs fine.
Sound like that the way
It's the way that the wheels are set up.
Yeah. So that means, did you gauge the wheels?
The wheels were gauged. Let's see. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah, that's the design flaw.
To me, there was two things, and in fact, we took it to somebody and they looked at it and they said, we can tell you what's wrong with this. The first problem is that it's four wheels, an open spot, and another set of two.
Right.
Okay.
Shouldn't be that way.
It shouldn't be that way. But there were locomotives, prototype locomotives that ran like this. But if you take a look at the flanges,
They're thick as hell.
no, there's little to no flange there.
There's no flange there.
Oh!
This one here's a
Oh,
dummy,
man.
but this one here and this one here, you feel there is very
There's
little.
very little flange.
There's very little flange, and what they told us is that there is no.
Is this like
No
this?
This is so that you could go around tight radius.
Yeah, that's why they cut all the flange off. A lot of locomotives. You go ahead and buy a River Rossi with eight drivers. It'll have at least one blank driver in there.
I can prove exactly what Joe's talking about.
That's it. Because
I have never seen that on an engine. Never
See,
seen
make them
that.
blind everybody.
Now you just can't make this up. No flange,
No flange. There's flange on either end.
but this runs fine.
But this runs fine.
That's how it'll make it around an 18-inch curve.
Yep. Now it'll make a heck of a lot of noise going around an 18-inch
It's gonna
car.
sing to you.
kind of like the streetcars going around a tight radius down there at the streetcar.
Yeah.
I never noticed
That way it allows that car, that engine to pivot just a little bit.
Just enough to make the turn.
Just enough to make that turn.
Oh,
There's another one that's like that. The middle two are blind,
and it runs fine.
and it runs fine.
Again, don't run fine.
So the space. Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh, it's
my
got
God.
a case in a case. But so the spacing on that is probably the reason why it's so jacked up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it should have really had this extra set of wheels, or the flanges should have been deeper. The other thing of it is hold on to that for a minute.
It's heavy as hell.
That almost weighs a pound. Actually, it's over a pound.
That's all metal.
That's
It's
all-
all metal. Yeah.
That's an old man to a die cast.
All Mantuas was pretty metal, all metal.
Uh-huh.
Until the 90s when they went to go to plastic. This is
Yeah.
I don't need a workout. So the spacing, yeah.
Yeah.
So the spacing for one, that back wheel is too far back.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, this
Why
was a
would they
prototype.
even put the wheel so far back under the cab?
Well, that was the thing. This was a prototype
There
locomotive.
was a prototype locomotive.
Oh,
This is not just somebody's idea of
No.
a cheap model.
No.
This was actually based on a prototype.
Yep.
Yeah. And the other thing of it is actually on this back end, this has actually got a traction tire on it.
With the rubber?
Yeah. Yeah. So this one here has actually got this one. I don't know if it's on. No, it's not on both sides. It's just on the one side.
So it's on the firebox, on the engineer side?
Yeah.
So basically, that wheel should be up and nothing under the cab.
Well, like I said, I mean, this is prototype. This wheel
Yeah, it's
arrangement,
a prototype.
but these flanges are just way too thin.
Yeah, flanges aren't
Can you
thick
change
enough.
up the flange?
No.
No, they don't make wheels for this.
Well,
Yeah. they don't make wheels for that.
no-win situation with
Yeah.
that. So it just sits on the shelf as a.
Right now, it just sits on the shelf.
It just sits-
I haven't tried to run it on this layout, to be honest, because I'm afraid to. I'm afraid to get disappointed
You know
again.
what? You should try and see what happens. It might run.
Well, this thing, like I said, I was really disappointed too when I didn't get it. It was inexpensive, but it wasn't cheap when I got it secondhand. It was $75 for the set, which was a little bit more than what I really wanted to pay for it, especially since it was really nicked up and the stack was loose when I got it. And I think the stack coming loose may have actually happened in transit.
See, I'm really looking at it now. Y'all call this a prototype. The flaws, you know, you got your drive shafts, and like I said, it's under the cab, not like the rest of them off the cab. I have never seen a wheel under the cab.
Right. Yeah.
And so far back near the tender.
Yeah.
There is that space. You don't have no space between.
Yeah. It was. I think they called it an American. I think is what it was. You have to remember, this was done. Oh my gosh, this would have been, I think, after the Civil War.
Just after
the Civil War. Yeah, this is. I mean, it's pretty. It was a wood burner. It wasn't a coal burner. It was a wood burner, which a lot of the old steam locomotives were.
Oh yeah.
You know, they didn't burn coal; they burned wood.
I can just see that not staying on track.
Yeah. But I saw that we have somebody else in here, Canadian Locomotive Logistics. Good afternoon or evening, sir.
Once in a while.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I've seen him before.
Okay. Joe's seen you before. I haven't.
Yeah.
Maybe I didn't. Try it now, Ray. No.
He's the one that's automated Sparky's layout.
Oh, he's the one that automated Sparky. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Bachmann doesn't make parts for their HO scale 210-4s and GS. Yeah, we know that. Yeah. I've got one of Bachmann's old 484s that I've replaced the gears in 4 times now, and I basically gave up. It's a shelf queen. I wanted it because I'd seen that locomotive so many times as a kid. Blindly, you got blinded by, oh, I'd like to have that, and you get the thing, and you realize how much of a piece of junk it is. And it's like, well, all right, well, I got bit there. And that's one of the reasons why I've got the Mantua 462 sitting over there.
But it's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty.
Yeah, well, that was the thing. That GS4 paint scheme that they put on for Chessie, that Bachmann put on there, is a neat paint scheme. It's just the fact that the mechanicals of it are junk. You know, it keeps going ahead and getting out of sync, and it's just Harrison's repaired. I think 2 of them. I think Ron over classic model trains actually cannibalized a couple of them to get one to run, and I don't know how long that lasted because they keep breaking gears.
Yeah.
They were just never. They were never to be designed. They weren't designed to be used as we use them.
Right.
That's the problem. They weren't.
They were designed as toys.
They were designed as toys. They absolutely were. There's no doubt about that.
Toy on rails.
Huh?
Oh yeah.
Big toy on rails.
Yep. And that's the thing we were talking about. I was talking about that yesterday with I think it was Ron. About people coming into the hobby. And one of the things that I'll never forget, years ago, I was going to go to Timonium, and I was going to go with a group of folks. It was like in the early 2000s or something or actually middle 2000s. And they all backed out on me. And Dawn said, "Oh, I'll go with you," because my daughter was with her cousins or something. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we paid we went on a Sunday, so we only paid $10. And we walk in, and of course, what's the first thing you see when you walk in? Normally see when you walk into the Timonium Train Show. It was the scale trains display with all their high-level rivet counter DCC locomotives, and are all at like $500 a shot.
Yeah.
And the next thing I feel is this, and it's like, you're not spending that kind of money on that thing in the basement, are you? And I'm like, nope.
Yeah.
I think when they decided to stay with rivet counter, they just turned me off.
Yeah.
Well, they
too much.
They kicked all the entry-level people to the curb by eliminating their operator series. It's like, they're buying out these other train companies. It's like, don't you think maybe you're spreading yourself out too thin, too fast, and buying all these? You know, I know you want to be a great railroad company, but now you're concentrating on museum quality and rivet counter, and hell with everybody else.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the things that Howard Zane, which is another layout that I'd love to go see before he passes away.
I know we should have grabbed Al
Puglisi yesterday.
Yeah. I didn't even see Al yesterday.
Oh, he was all over the place. He was running around looking like he needed to
didn't
see
stand
who
in one
was
spot
looking for
for long.
somebody.
But
He did post a video.
yeah. The thing is I remember one of the videos that he did for MRR years ago, because he's a appraiser of and a collector of brass locomotives. And he was telling the guy, he says, the wild part of this is a lot of these locomotives will never see service. They will never run. He says, people that buy them for their looks. They don't buy them to run them, because the second worst sound in the world is a brass locomotive hitting the floor.
And shattering to little pieces.
And the thing of it is it's gotten to the point when you start talking about the river counters and the things of that nature, these high-end DCC locomotives, that's like I was telling somebody, I said, there's no way with a good conscience, if I had grandkids or if I had young kids, that I could go out and spend $500 on a locomotive and I'm going to hand them the throttle and go, here, have a ball.
Yeah, and let the kids play. Yeah.
There ain't no way.
Sorry.
No. No, I want them to learn about the hobby. Absolutely. I am not going to hand them the throttle of a $500 locomotive. And it's one of the things, there was a fellow that I worked with years ago. I told him, I says, what you need to do, I said, I'll tell you when the next train show's in town. He says, why is that? I says, because what we'll do, we'll go over to where the swap meet is. I says, and we can find some decent, not only possibly a train set, but you can find some decent entry-level locomotives that if he picks it up and throws it across the freaking room, he picks it up and throws it across the freaking room, you go out and buy another one.
Mm-hmm.
And you're not too, okay, that was $10. All right.
Right.
You know, I'm not worried about
that was
$500. Right, exactly. And I mean, the thing of it, if you think about the railroads that we built, I mean, mine's 36 inches off the floor, or the 3.5 feet. Yeah, it's a long drop to a concrete.
Ain't going to survive.
Yeah,
It's going to break.
it's a three. That's to a concrete floor.
I've got a 4-foot drop to a wooden floor.
That ain't much better. The wood's going to give a little bit.
I do have the foam pad on most of it, but you know.
Well, believe it or not, but the foam pad didn't help me out too much back there in the yard one night. What the heck did I? Oh, that's right. I went to pick up the RDC pair. The damn drawbar between the two of them broke, and one of them went. Again, thankfully, that was not like a $300 It was. I paid $25 for the pair. One of them's a lifelike, and the other one's an old Athearn rubber band drive, to which I pulled the rubber bands out of. It's just a dummy. But, you know, it's like every time something like that happens, you go, oh, geez, great.
Mm-hmm.
I've had tank cars hit the floor. You know, thankfully, again, they did hit the rubber matting over there by Beauville, but that rubber mat doesn't give a whole hell of a lot. It doesn't give much at all. You might as well be dropping it on the floor. What do we got going on here in the chat? Anything interesting? How many people we got left?
It's our time.
Oh, we've been at this for almost 2.5 hours.
I was just going to say, I think we're
Yeah,
way past our 1 hour.
We were just supposed to be here to surprise you.
Well, I'm glad you guys came over. That was a surprise.
Yep, I'm glad we did too.
I mean, this was a blast. This was a
This whole
blast.
weekend has been a blast.
We got to do this again.
Sadly, it's got to come to an end.
Yeah, unfortunately.
October of next year, we shall do it again.
Like I told you, I'm not going to the Plano shows or the Temple.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Trust me.
We're gonna hold you to it.
Are we going to the Temple show? No.
No, I know I ain't going to the Temple show. You fucking burned me on that last.
I didn't want
I get a call. He says, "Oh, you got to go to the Temple show. You got to go to the Temple show. Come on down." All right, I get in my truck. I'm starting down there. I'm about halfway down. You know, it's like past the point of no return. He calls me on the phone. Oh, this is a fucking mess, dude. I said, you son. So I went down there, paid my money, went in, and I did a 2 loop screw, got back in the truck and drove home.
Well, I got you out the house.
Yeah, okay.
There's a positive to everything.
Yeah.
Ken Amos was saying my grandson ran my Athearn $700 big boy off the rails. He's alive only because my wife and his mother quickly escorted him away.
Oh,
Golly, no.
Oh, and Ron's saying we need to start over because he missed something.
No.
Hello, doggy.
Emma girl.
What's happening, Emma?
I was like, are you guys
Still
still
here?
I want some peace and quiet.
Hey, Derek. Yeah, we're about to go ahead and call this one done. So next sidetrack Sunday belongs to Schuylkill River Valley. Hey, John, make sure you go ahead and lock the doors.
Don't. I think this should be a trend for everybody. From here on out. Don't give nobody breathing room.
Better be careful what you wish for.
Oh, Jack, you just jinxed yourself. You might get some riffraff showing up at your door.
I'll let Joe in, but you stay out.
Oh my gosh.
Especially done drove
Hey,
22
how
hours.
are you getting back home?
Oh yeah! my bad, sir. Oh, shit, I'm just messing up over here. I gotta get home. But yeah,
Oh,
this
no.
has been a blast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for being such a great host.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that we
And
can
you
all.
too, Joe.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
You
Yeah.
guys are welcome. You're welcome back anytime.
Don't say that.
Be careful what you wish for.
Open up, Joe. I want to get on the layout, Joe.
Yeah, that's one of the things that Jack's been pestered. He's like, I need to come over there and operate on your railroad.
And it came true.
I'm talking about on mine. Yeah, not tonight.
No, not tonight. No, I gotta go get some sleep. I'm about to fall asleep on your live stream. I'm sure everybody is her falling asleep. Yes, I am.
All right, folks. Like I said, John number 2 over at Schuylkill River Valley's got next sidetrack Sunday. Let's see if I can do well. You know what? I'm just going to scoot over this way. There we go. Hey, look, there's JD. You all know the deal. Wait for the highball. Green
You
truck.
blocked out Joe.
Wait for the highball. Green Jack's ahead. Now blocked out Jack.
You can't win.
Have a good week, everybody. We'll catch you all next time.
Bye, everybody.
See ya.
Yeah, you guys got to get